Hey guys, welcome back to Lux Biz. I'm Tatiana and today my fiance Stefan is joining us today and we're going to talk all about marketing, how to market your product, whether it's a physical product or a digital product, it doesn't matter because marketing is so important. You could have the best product out there, you could offer the best services, but if nobody is going to see your product, then you're not going to get any sales and nobody will know and benefit from the product. So you really want to learn how to market your product because marketing is truly king. So we're both going to share some ideas with you and help you based on our experience. Stefan has his own business, I have my own business, and we have different marketing techniques that we each use. And so we're going to share that with you and hopefully add some value to you in that way.
Yeah, and I think what's important to understand is that every product in every niche or market is going to be a little bit different. Now, a lot of people, they share, and you probably already know about Instagram and Facebook and search engine optimization or YouTube or podcasting. There's so many different ways out there that you can market, and they're all incredibly effective. But I think you got to take a step back and not just say, okay, I'm going to do Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, but you got to look at your business. You got to look at the niche, the market. One of my favorite things to do is to look at your competitors, right? So you can look to see if you're selling an Amazon product, how are your competitors marketing their product. You go to their website, look them up, and go through their funnel and kind of be a customer of their business to see what's really working for them. And today, everything is so transparent. You can see on their website, how many visitors that they're getting. There's different tools and software that you can use to determine that. You can look on their Instagram or their Facebook and their blog and see how many likes or shares or comments that they're getting to see what's really working for them. And I think once you identify one or two marketing platforms or channels that are really working for your business, it's going deep on it, not trying to do everything. Because if you're trying to do everything, you're just going to get overwhelmed. There's just way too much that's out there. And each one you got to understand is a learning curve. Just learning how to do YouTube, it's a learning curve with that. And, learning how to do Facebook effectively or Instagram effectively, there's a learning curve for that. So whatever it is, I'd say pick one or two and go really, really deep with it. Learn as much as you can. Get really great at it before you add on some additional ways of marketing your product.
Yeah, and having said that, we're going to share with you several different ways to market your products. So you're going to get a bunch of ideas, but again, you don't have to do every single one of these techniques and methods. You just pick what's going to work best for you, what could you be best at, and what works best for your business. So I'm going to start us off by just sharing my favorite marketing method, which is social media. And I think you guys know this because I have another video about this on this channel, but I truly do believe in the power of social media marketing. I think it's great if you're on a budget because you do not have to spend and invest a lot of money. And you can just really leverage influencers and yourself personally. So there's a few different ways that you can go about it. I'm not going to go too in depth because I do have another video about social media, just about social media. But I would say, first of all, if you have an Amazon product, it's a product that you could market personally yourself, like myself with my waist trainers. Go for it because you're going to save so much money. Up until this point, I have spent $0 on marketing, on paid advertising because I've been leveraging myself. I've been using myself as a marketing tool. So I have my Lux Health YouTube channel. I've got the Instagram page where I have pictures there. And so it's really been great. However, if you don't want to use your personal face, if you don't like being on camera, you should still be on social media because you can still have your brand on social media and be posting things about your brand. And you can also leverage influencers. So influencers are people who already have a social media following. They have followers who like, know, and trust them. So if these influencers do post something, then their followers are just much more likely to buy it because they want to be like the influencers, or they just like and believe everything that they recommend or whatever it is. So if you can find an influencer that really resonates with your brand, is in the niche of your brand, and then you could, maybe send them some free products in exchange for a post, or even pay them a little bit of money in exchange for a post, then that's really going to help get the word out. Because now though that influencer maybe has 100,000 followers, maybe it has 500,000 followers, and so when they're posting about your product, now you have all these new people who are going to become aware of it. So it's a great form of marketing, very, very inexpensive, and it's definitely my favorite because not only do you have Instagram, but you've got YouTube, you've got Facebook, you've got Pinterest. So there are so many different social media sites that you can try. And again, it depends on the nature of your product. For example, Pinterest is a primarily female-based audience. Many women go there, they browse things, they add things to their Pinterest boards, and they shop on Pinterest. So if you have a product that's targeting males, Pinterest might not be the best place for you to be. However, if you do have a product targeting females and it's something that's very shoppable, something that would really resonate, then that's the perfect platform for you. So you do have to figure out based on your brand where you want to market, what social media platform. But in general, I believe that every brand should have a social media presence.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off that. What I was going to share fits in with that because this is the biggest trend going on, and I think is going to continue moving forward, is that people connect with people. And that if you're just trying to sell a product and you're this professional website that has a bunch of products for sale, that's not going to be as effective as people buying not from this big company, but from an actual individual, someone that they like, know, and trust. And that's why I think influencer marketing is so powerful, because you're leveraging that relationship and people are buying from other people they can relate to, people they connect with, people that they trust. That's why you see now the big companies that are out there hiring and working with influencers, whether that's Nike and they have LeBron James and professional athletes and Roger Federer and Michael Jordan and all these athletes who are the ones that are the influencers. They are a brand. They are, they have a huge following. They have people that look up to them. They have people that, are huge fans of them. And so when they launch or promote a new shoe or whatever the product is, then people are going to be way more likely to buy from that company because of that influencer that's associated with it. And what Tatiana said, there's kind of two options here. You got to decide, do you want to be the influencer? Do you want to be the face of your company, the face of your brand, the face of your product? Or do you want to hire someone else or incentivize someone else to do that for you? And I think you have such an advantage if you're willing to be that person, because when you believe in your product and you have that passion for it, you're always going to be the best salesperson for it, more than even trying to hire and find someone else to do that for you. And if you are to hire someone or find someone, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you some resources to do that. And so that's why I think if you're the one that's willing to do that, and by the way, this is what even the big companies are doing. I mean, if you look at Tesla, Elon Musk is a personal brand. He's the founder, or he's the CEO of Tesla, and he's the one that people associate Tesla to. Or back when Microsoft was being built, it was all about Bill Gates. Virgin, there's Richard Branson. So even these top founders and CEOs, they're using their personal brand and influence to connect with people, and that's what gives them an incredible advantage doing it that way. But to kind of branch off that, if you're the one that's going to be the influencer, really what this falls into is content marketing. And this is how I look at it as my favorite way of marketing online, because if you look at the internet, everything that's out there, when you go through your Facebook, when you go through YouTube, when you go through Instagram or Twitter or any of these different websites or platforms, all you're really seeing is content. You're seeing images, you're seeing text, you're seeing articles, you're seeing video, which is the most consumed type of content online. It's going to continue to grow moving forward. And so I believe the best way is to be a content creator, also known as an influencer, and pick the platform like we talked about, whether that is Pinterest or Instagram or YouTube or blogging, but pick a platform and start creating content. Create valuable content that other people are searching for that's related to your niche or your product. Okay, so if you're selling yoga mats on Amazon, then create a blog around that, and start writing articles, sharing tips and things about yoga, and then do articles around yoga mats and comparisons and reviews of them and valuable content that someone would search for. And then they're going to find your blog post. And when they consume the content, the powerful thing that happens is there's a level of trust and relationship being developed. Because when you're adding value to someone and they're consuming your content and they're like, wow, this is really great. This this is really awesome. They're going to want to like it. They're going to want to share it. They're going to want to comment. They're going to want to, find out more about your product or service without you really having to try to, sell it to them and market it to them. That's just a natural thing that occurs. So for me, my favorite platform of that has been YouTube. I think video is the hottest trend and, again, the most consumed type of content. And I just do the best that I can to publish content and videos on YouTube that can add value to people. And I do research to see what people are searching for. I create videos. I started off with a little camera, and I just got better and better as I went. I did have some fears of putting myself out there, but once you get over that, then it becomes easy and actually becomes fun. And once you get a following and people that enjoy your content, it just kind of grows from there. So YouTube has been my favorite, but any of these platforms, content is really what you got to be creating, or again, you find the influencer or that person that can do that for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. And I think that one of the reasons why social media is so powerful is that there is a sense of community building with social media. And so, having a presence on social media doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put your face out there or always be posting things about your products, but it also means learning how to build that community, because people want to be a part of a community. That's just in our nature. A lot of people, they want to feel like they can, be in a place where other people can relate to them, and so they can communicate with them, and build friends online. And so, I would recommend creating a Facebook group. So Facebook is a great place for community building. It's very easy to create a Facebook group. You can have it public or you can have it private. I remember when I was first building my brand, I built a Facebook group called, I think it was something like I Love Beauty Secrets or something like that, because I wanted to build a brand around beauty. So I wasn't creating the Facebook group community around my product, but I was creating the community around the niche, around beauty in general. And so I would attract people to my group who were interested in beauty, and I'd post tips and people would talk and collaborate and share ideas. And every so often I would share, a picture or a blog post from my product, and I would market my product. So this is a great way to do this. Another way to form a group on Facebook is to have a private community. And so that's something I have. I have a community with women. We have over 8,500 women in our Facebook community right now. And it's around waist training. You don't have to have purchased my product to be able to join the group, but, have some sort of interest in the waist training niche. And so that way there's a bunch of women. You can see dozens and dozens of posts every single day talking about waist training, weight loss, health. And so people just really are engaged in that community. And it's a great way to market my product, because the women in there, they buy my products, naturally, and then they love it. And then they, market it to the other girls in the community. They make posts about it. They post pictures about it. They share their before and after. And so this is a very simple and natural way for me to market my products. Actually, they do most of the marketing for me. I just set up the group. So it takes a little bit of time to build up that, that community. It didn't happen overnight, 8,500 women. But I think when you find what your niche is and you really branch off and you build that community around it, I think that's really, really powerful. So Facebook groups, and you mentioned blogging. I think blogging is great if you can have your personal blog, but also I think you could, reach out to other bloggers. Yeah. So for example, again, my niche is the waist training. I could reach out to other bloggers in perhaps the health niche and fitness niche. And I could say, hey, could I, have a guest blog post on your blog? They might agree. And then I could also ask them to review my products. So I could send them my products for free at no charge. And then I would say, in exchange, would you please review my products and give your honest feedback in your blog, write a blog post. So there are different ways to do this.
Yeah, and just kind of to add to that too, if you are going to create a group, whatever your niche is, know what the keywords are that people would search for to find it, right? Because that's how you're going to get a lot of organic people that are going to discover your group or they're going to discover your content, is know what those keywords are. So Tatiana knows the keywords that she's trying to target. So when people are going to Facebook and they're looking for a group or they're looking for content and they type that in the search, then they can find her group, or they can find some of the resources that she has. And the process is no different than on Google or YouTube or these other platforms, is that they're a search engine. and people go there to search and to discover and look for resources and content and communities and things that could help and benefit them on this subject that they're interested or passionate about. And I think just kind of going back, there's many different ways. So don't think, I mentioned video is the most powerful way of creating content, but blogging is also effective too. If you don't want to be the face and put yourself out there in that's totally fine. You could create a blog and you can write the blog posts, or you could hire a writer to write the content for you. That does cost money, of course, but you could have someone that could do that for you. Or even with the social media, if you don't want to be the one creating it, you could, again, get the influencer, or you can hire someone that can create that for you. And content is something that you really have to just try to get better and better at. You have to kind of remove yourself from and really look at the content that you're creating, or even the content that you're sharing, because you can share other people's stuff too, and that can benefit them. But really looking at what are people resonating with, what are they liking, what are they sharing, and both of us on YouTube and social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, we're looking to see, okay, which pieces of content are getting the most reach, the most engagement, so that we can improve ourselves as a content creator. And it's just an ongoing process of that. Sometimes I think, hey, you know what, I think people are gonna love this, and I share it, or I create a piece of content on it, and it didn't do as well as I expected. And so I have to take a step back and look at the content and say, why didn't it do as well as I thought? And I try to learn my niche and my market even more. That's why I think creating a lot of different types of content and experimenting to see, do your blog or do your YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and try different types to see what people resonate with, and once you kind of find out what's working, do more of that. Because once you see, hey, you know what, this video did really well, or this blog post did really well, try to do more around that, because you can leverage something that you've just discovered is working, and that can really make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah. Yeah, and another idea for you is to do contests and giveaways. So contests and giveaways, if you're launching a new product, this is a great way to, get more eyes on the product. You're really able to market your product, because people love free stuff. So when they see that there's a contest and they can win anything, you're going to get thousands and thousands of people who will enter. And by entering, they're going to be exposed to your product for the first time. And so they're going to be aware of it. And then, maybe they just enter the contest for the free stuff. But there are some people who actually genuinely might be interested in your product. And then if they didn't win, then they're going to go on and purchase it later. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but could even be a couple years from now, just because they saw it for the first time. So contests and giveaways are great. You can also do like crowdfunding and Kickstarters. So not only are you going to get the financial backup, but with crowdfunding and Kickstarters, again, it's a way to get that product out there and to expose it to all these people on these platforms. So a little bit different ways of marketing, not super long term, but you can try these things and see how it works with your business.
Yeah, and I think when you're first starting out, be prepared to give away some product.
Yes.
That's just what's involved, in this any type of business, whether it's a digital product, giving it away initially to people, or your physical product. And I understand there's some expenses in that, but you've got to factor that in your inventory and your marketing costs. So in the short term, you're going to lose some money, but long term, it's for the benefit of getting more marketing, getting more traction, and more awareness and presence and all that. So as Tatiana said, so if it's a physical product, giving that away to influencers, giving it away with a giveaway or a contest, because whatever the product is, like again, a yoga mat, there's people, let's say on Instagram, that are looking for it. And if they come across, you're using your hashtag giveaway or hashtag yoga or something like that on Instagram, and you're doing this big giveaway, then you're going to get all these people that are into yoga. They're like, oh, wow, this is awesome. They're giving away a free yoga mat. I want one. You're going to have requirements to follow you in order to enter to win. And now you're attracting all these people by giving something away for free and kind of having that as bait for them to follow you. And then some of those people might become customers, as Tatiana mentioned. But, even being willing to give it away to influencers, giving it away to bloggers, giving it away to YouTubers, having a strategy around that to then follow up with them. In some cases, they're not going to promote it. They're just going to say it's not the right fit, or there's just not a strong enough incentive for it. But, when you do that and you have a good strategy around it, you will get a few people that will promote it. One of my favorite things to do with this also is to give away my product to get testimonials, to get endorsements, to get positive testimonials from people, because you can then use that to better market your product. And those testimonials, you can put them on your website, you can put them on your social media, you can share those everywhere where you're marketing the product, and that's going to help boost conversions of it. So, that might mean, like, even with a digital product, at the beginning, I might give it away to some people or have some beta testers that can test it out and use it. And if they like it, then I ask them, hey, would you mind creating a quick video to share your experience with it, or write, a quick paragraph as a testimonial that I could use on my marketing? Or do you mind retweeting it or sharing it on your Instagram or Facebook, and then I take a screen capture of it, and then I can take that and put that on my Instagram or put that on my, my YouTube or my blog or whatever it might be. So getting those are very important, because you're only going to be able to market so much yourself, and you're biased even as the influencer because you're just, it's your product. But if you can get other people to share their experiences, then that can be even more effective, because you're giving more people for them to relate to. And it's going to build the trust that in them wanting to buy your product from you.
For sure, yeah. And we talk a lot about online marketing, but in-person marketing is still very effective. I personally wear my waist trainer all the time. I wear my product. I've got a wearable product. And by the way, guys, if you're sourcing, looking for an Amazon product, if you can find something that you can wear that's visible, that's really special, unique, and it's great for marketing. Because we have a friend named James. He has these blue light blocking glasses. He wears them everywhere he goes, and then people ask him, what are those? Because they're a little bit orange tinted. And then he shares with them about his product and markets his product to them. So, but myself, I have a waist trainer. I wear it everywhere I go. Today we were at the gym. People ask me at the gym, what is it? Does it work? How does it work? Where can I buy one? And so I market it to them, and you never really know who you're talking to. We're at Gold's Gym here in Venice, and it seems like everyone is an influencer. Everyone seems to have a huge social media following. So great opportunities there to find those influencers in person. Today I saw another woman. She was working out, and she's really fit, and she was wearing a waist trainer, not from my brand. But I approached her and I asked her, do you like your waist trainer? Do you think it works? How do you find the quality? And then I finally shared with her that I also have a waist training brand, and I'd love it if you would try my products and let me know your feedback. And so I gave her my business card, and so we're probably going to connect at another point in time to do that. And so once she gives me her feedback and she likes the products, then I'll ask her, hey, would you mind posting on your social media? Whether that's a paid collaboration or unpaid, there you can work that out. So there are so many different opportunities like that. And so in-person marketing is definitely still viable. And if you have a wearable product, it's even better. Another way that you could market your products in person would be at trade shows. So there are so many trade shows here in the States. There's the Fitness Expo, there's like health ones. And, personally myself, I know that going to a trade show, I probably wouldn't, I feel like financially it's not the best return on my investment. I feel like I could do a lot better spending that time marketing my products online. With my online store, the profit margins are higher. But going to the trade show is great exposure. So it's great exposure, getting, meeting all these different people, meeting these fit people who could be potentially influencers. So not only can they, I market and I share about my product to them, but now I have a new contact who I could potentially collaborate with as well. And then I also get footage. I get footage from my social media of me at the trade show, showing the, the stand and showing all the products and showing myself with customers. And this is really, really valuable content to have on your own social media platforms.
Yeah. And that's, again, the benefit of you believing in your product and having passion behind it, because you're going to be the best salesperson, as I said before. You're going to be the one that, if you love your product, you're going to share it with your friends and your family. You're not going to be embarrassed by it. You're going to approach people randomly that, and that's just going to give you an advantage over everybody else. Everyone else is just trying to do it to make money. But if you have that passion, you're willing to get behind your product and transfer that belief and passion to other people, then that's incredibly effective. I think with the trade show thing too, as you said, it builds your brand. even though you might even just go into it not expecting to make any money doing it. If you have a photographer, and taking great pictures that you can put on your social media and website, if you have a videographer that can video things, and even, have people, for example, try on the product, you have video of that and you interview them about the product, or you have people share their results and experiences with that, that is going to give you an advantage on social media. Even the credibility of saying that you were at this trade show, it's letting the market know that you're there, that you're the company in this market, you're in this niche. You get the credibility to leverage the fact that you're at this expo or that trade show or whatever it might be. And that's going to help to grow the brand, which is the perception that other people have of it. And when people are deciding on whether or not they should buy from you or someone else, they're going to buy from the brand that is best communicating that with their market, that's best, meeting their needs and building their credibility and engaging with the market in that way, and just kind of doing those little things above and beyond. So it's that mindset behind it, of looking at things in the long term and trying to leverage that as much as you can. But ultimately it comes down to you and you deciding that you're gonna promote and market your product in whatever way that you can, and you're gonna get it out there. And I think if you do that effectively, you're gonna be relevant. You're gonna attract people to you. It might not be overnight or fast, but it will happen over time if you're consistent with these things.
Totally. And Stefan, I know that you do a great job at marketing with your business via email marketing.
Yeah.
So maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Well, the way I look at it is the content and everything you put out there, you want to funnel them into a way that you can best communicate with them. I think social media is great. YouTube is great. All these platforms, you want to use them as much as you can, but I never like being dependent on them. And then also, and part of the reason for that is that you don't have full control over that platform. So even with Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, there's times where they limit your reach, that you might have 10,000 followers on Facebook or YouTube, but it doesn't mean that every piece of content you put out is going to reach that many people. And that's kind of a little bit unfortunate, because if you have your product you want to share or sell, you want to reach as many of those people as possible. So I try to encourage people first and foremost to follow me on social media and all the different platforms as possible, because everyone has their different platform they enjoy following people on the most. But I really want to get them on my email list, because once they're on my email list, I can communicate with them more consistently. I can ensure that they're getting my emails and receiving it, versus with Instagram or YouTube, it might just kind of be once in a while based on what YouTube or Instagram determines is relevant to them, or whatever it might be.
How often they're on social media.
Yeah, and so the email piece is always my end goal, to get people on that. And then once they're on my email list, I can send them a series of emails that I'm sharing more content, but I can also promote my product more to them, and I can offer a discount code, or I can just do a lot more over the long term. And I'm always after that long-term value and relationship. It's kind of like if people just come to your website, it's no different than them just walking into a store, a retail store. The reality is that most people that walk into the store or they come to your website, most of them are going to leave and never come back. And so at least by getting their contact information, you can then follow up with them and send them back to your store or website. You can send them more content. You can build that relationship, which only happens over time. It doesn't happen right away. It's kind of like this dating process of getting to know each other, them getting to know you sharing content and giving them value, and they enjoy that and they keep coming back. And then they continue. And then at a certain point, some people might not buy from you until a few months down the road, but that's why you want to be in consistent communication with them through email marketing. So I think deliverability of emails has been getting less, but it's still the best way, I think, to communicate with your audience and your list the most consistently.
Totally. And how do you get these people on your email list? Well, you add value to them, sincerely add value to them. So you're not just trying to, get them with something catchy or clickbaity. You really want to find something that can be of interest and of value to them. So for example, if you have an Amazon product and you have a physical product, then you could have a warranty, and you can tell them, go to our website, and to get access to the warranty, you have to fill in this information, and then they subscribe to your mailing list. Another option is to do an ebook. So for them to get access to the free ebook, they would have to then fill in their name and email address. Another option could be, giving them, top 10 tips for X, or 10 things you need to know before starting your Amazon FBA business. Something that really they would care to actually read. For example, under this video, I've got something, and it's a 4-part video training series for Amazon FBA. So these are 4 videos that I recorded. I spent the time to record them. I think that they're great, and I'm giving them to you for free if you subscribe to my mailing list. So you know that you're going to be subscribed to my mailing list. I'm not tricking you into anything. You know that you're putting in your name and email. I'm going to send you the free training. And after I send you the free training, I might email you from time to time to share some more valuable tips and tricks or whatever it is. Maybe sometimes I will market a product or an affiliate product. And so that's how it really works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's creating what they call the landing page. And I'm sure you've seen them before. I mean, just Tatiana's link below is a great example of that. But giving away something that they perceive as high value, something valuable, to want to give in their name and email address. So that could be an ebook, it could be like a cheat sheet, it could be a resource list, it could be a video, it could be an audio, something that is relevant to them, to their problem or to their needs that they want to fulfill. And if you've got your physical product, you can combine that into your product packaging. You could have an insert with it. So when people receive it from Amazon, you give them something a link that they can go to, and you're giving away something that's going to make them want to, hey, you know what? I got to have this. They take out their computer, they go to your website, and they put in their name and email. So that's how valuable that it has to be. And when you're giving that value to people, again, their trust is going up. If I gave you incredible value and it really helps you in your life, you're going to go, oh, wow, this is great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. How can I find out more about what you're doing? Or you're going to be more naturally inclined to check out my business or my products or to want to buy from me again and again. And so that's where the value piece comes in, just focusing on doing more for them and serving them and really understanding your market, knowing what their problems are, knowing what their goals are. And that sometimes only comes from you engaging with them and interviewing them and talking to your customer so that you can learn them the best so that you can better serve them.
For sure. Yeah, I was thinking maybe another idea for you is to find a way to get in the press. If you've got a business that has a great story, the press loves that. Whether it's the newspaper or a magazine or even an online popular magazine, I guess, if that's how it works. But finding a way to get in the press and to get that publicity is really going to kind of get your brand out there. And then I guess, one thing that we haven't touched on, which is the most popular form of marketing, is paid advertising. So we haven't even talked about that yet, but that's probably the number one most common way to traditionally market your products online. It's just you pay for the advertising. So you don't even need to really have a social media account. You don't need to have your website. You could just do paid advertising and take people directly to your Amazon account, although we still recommend having the social media and having the website, but the paid advertising can do this. So whether that's a Facebook ad, a video ad, or an Instagram ad, or even on Google. So even on Amazon, there's Amazon PPC. So that means that if your product is on the 4th page, you pay for advertising for a specific keyword and you rank number 1 for that keyword, then your product will be the first thing that people see when they search for that keyword, which is amazing and works really, really well. But of course, you are going to have to invest more money into that. Paid advertising is not cheap. And so that's why I think we would recommend, to try some different methods of advertising if you are on a budget before you jump into the paid advertising. But it's always great. It's always good to have. If all else fails, paid advertising is always going to work.
Yeah, and there's a learning curve with everything too. So if you want to learn Facebook ads, you got to go deep into that. If you want to learn Google ads or YouTube ads or Instagram ads or even Amazon ads, with each of these methods that we're sharing with you, these different ways of marketing, there's different strategies that exist. There's different hacks. There's just different things you can do. And I've always looked for training programs or courses or people that can teach me this, because I know even with Facebook advertising, it can take a while to get really great at it, because at first you're kind of losing money by experimenting to see what which ads that you set up are converting the most, and which ones maybe you're spending too much money on that you gotta disable them, and you gotta try to optimize those ads so that you're reaching more people at a lower cost. And it's a process of that. And so just be prepared to go through that. But once you really get it dialed in and you learn that I'm spending, $5, and for every $5 I'm spending, I'm making $10, then you can just ramp that up and scale it up even further. I like paid advertising in the short term to give yourself that immediate boost, because the content marketing and a lot of this stuff that happens organically does take more time. That's more the long-term play though, because the ways that we market, we're getting free traffic, we're not spending money for it. So that's always the best strategy long-term, I believe, because also with paid advertising is that you're at the mercy of other advertisers and the platform, because typically the rates and the prices go up over time. So even if you have something converting really well now at a certain price point, you got to factor in that maybe a year or 2 years from now, it's going to be more competitive. Other advertisers are going to come in, start bidding to target the same people as you, and then it just might not be affordable for you at that point. And so that's why I like the content marketing and the organic stuff to get free traffic long term, because free traffic is always the best source of traffic that you can get. And that's how we built most of our businesses. Well, adding in some paid advertising here and there.
Yeah. And I like what you said, that there is a learning curve, because people come up to me and they say, Tatiana, I don't know how to do Facebook advertising. Tatiana, I don't know how to contact influencers. And I say, well, you have to learn. With everything, this whole business, I had to learn everything from scratch from the beginning. And if you don't know how to do something, doesn't mean that you're not capable of learning how to do it, but you have to pick wisely. Like we said at the beginning of the video, choose what you want to focus your time and attention on. Pick maybe 1 or 2 ways of marketing your product and master them. Take a course, read stuff online. Don't spend your evenings on social media. Spend your evenings reading and learning about this modality. And then once you master it, you become so good at it, then it becomes so effective for you and it works really well for you. Then you can move on to another method of advertising. And you might really figure out that you actually really enjoy advertising and marketing your products, and it can become something really fun for you.
Yeah, we're always learning. We always go to an event every year called the Traffic and Conversion Summit in San Diego, and it's all about marketing. Yeah. And there's so many different ways of marketing. It'll blow your mind. So many strategies, but we pick a few and we implement it. And we're not trying to do everything. We just pick maybe 3 strategies that we learn from it, and we go deeper with it. We find the course or the training that can walk us through step by step how to do it. And of course, the best way to learn is by doing as well. So don't just think you have to have all the information to start. Again, just by doing and taking action, you will learn and start piecing everything together as you're going through that.
Speaking of the Traffic and Conversion Summit, last year when we attended, I learned the power of Facebook Messenger marketing. Yeah. So, because a lot of people now, sometimes, they don't open their emails, or your emails go to their spam folder. So Facebook Messenger can be a great way to reach these people, because they're more likely to open their Facebook messages because it's such a new form of marketing that they're still unaware that, this is not one of my friends contacted me on Facebook Messenger. It's a brand or it's a business. And so it's very effective. So that's something also to look into, is Facebook Messenger. Do you have any last tips for our viewers before we wrap up the video?
I just reiterating, pick 1 or 2. Okay, look at what your competitors are doing. Do some research to determine what's the 1 or 2 that you're going to really dive deep with. Again, you don't have to do everything. I don't do everything. Tatiana does not do everything. There's no humanly possible way that you can do everything. When you see those companies that are doing everything, your competitors or myself or Tatiana, or understand it's because they have a team of people that are helping them do that. And if you're just a one-man show, you're not going to be able to compete with them on all these other marketing channels that they're doing. So that's why you got to pick 1 or 2. Okay, do your research. Maybe it's YouTube, maybe it's blogging, maybe it's press, or maybe it's Instagram, or who knows, whatever it is. Just pick 1 or 2 and get really good at it. Okay, research as much as you can on it. Go through courses or training programs on it. Start doing and implementing. Experiment with it and just get better and better and better and better. I've been doing YouTube for almost 7 years now, and I'm still getting better. I'm still learning. I don't know everything there is to know about it. I'm still learning. I'm seeing what other people are doing. There's new strategies coming about, new changes that are being made. So understand, just that one platform, there's a lot to it, and the same thing goes with Instagram or Facebook or anything else. So just commit to mastering it, go deep as you can, and then you you can make a lot of money with your product or business just with 1 or 2 strategies like that. And then once you make a lot of money from it, then when there's this new one that you want to jump into, hire someone now to do that for you instead, so that you can continue to focus on what you're doing, or bring in someone that can take over what you're doing, and then you go and focus your attention. Because if you try to add on some additional ways of marketing and you take away your focus from what you're doing, that can often go down. So that's where it comes in, bringing in more help to help you market in different ways and diversify your marketing efforts.
Totally, I agree. Well, Stefan, thank you so much for being on the channel. And guys, if you liked what Stefan had to share with you, check out his channel. It's Project Life Mastery. So at Project Life Mastery, or I guess there's no at, this is not Instagram. Project Life Mastery on YouTube. He's got a lot of great content. He talks about Amazon FBA as well, and a variety of other amazing subjects. So check him out for sure. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. Don't forget to thumbs up and leave a comment below. What did you like most about what we shared with you today? You know, what marketing method are you going to choose? And maybe share with us some tips if you have any of your own. All right, guys, we'll see you later.